In LA this week,
Los Angeles city officials announced record-breaking tourism in Los Angeles. I'm Yana Kay, and I'll tell you why LAX is leading the way. Next.
I'm Anna Margos. A new plan by the city attorney to help victims of immigration scams. Find out more coming up.
An LA-based singer-songwriter writes a song about Los Angeles, and it receives over 10 million hits on YouTube. I'm Gil Reyes. I'll introduce you to musician Justin Chart next.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. If you build it, they will come. That's the strategy of city and airport officials who are looking to boost tourism in Los Angeles by transforming LAX into a world-class airport. And so far, they say it's working. Yana Kay has more.
For the fourth straight year in a row, Los Angeles is experiencing record-breaking tourism in the city and a record number of passengers at LAX.
What we have learned is that if we put the passenger first, if we put the public first, if we put the airport neighbor first, we can succeed.
Officials say more than 43 million people visited Los Angeles in 2014, while 70 million passengers traveled through LAX. That's an increase of 1.2 million visitors from 2013 levels. Los Angeles City Mayor Eric Garcetti says the boost in tourism is partly due to the current transformation taking place at the Tom Bradley International Terminal, where high-end restaurants, first-class shopping, and 4 additional aircraft gates have opened, accommodating jumbo aircraft and new airline service.
Each of these gates besides us will help us grow our economy, create jobs for Angelinos, and welcome visitors to the greatest city on the face of the earth.
Garcetti also attributed the increase in tourism to growth in the international marketplace, particularly China, growing recognition of LA as a world-class travel destination, and new attractions within the city. Officials say the goal is to reach 50 million visitors by 2020. Officials say tourism is the largest and healthiest contributors to the LA economy. In 2013, visitors spent more than $18 billion in the city, and officials hope the first-class amenities offered at the international terminal will attract even more.
Here at LAX, we are building an airport that LA residents are proud of and will be proud of going forward. We're building an airport that will welcome and be the front door to the increasing number of world travelers that visit our great city.
And the improvements are still ongoing. Airport officials plan to debut 15 new dining and retail establishments. The entire Tom Bradley International Terminal is expected to be completed this year. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
The more than $7 billion LAX modernization project is creating nearly 40,000 construction-related jobs. Online sales of the controversial film The Interview actually topped its sales numbers in the box office despite a limited theater release. As Gil Reyes reports, streaming movies were a hot topic at a recent conference hosted by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce.
This entertainment conference at the Hollywood and Highland Center focused on the increasing popularity of online media, the phenomenon apparent with the controversial comedy The Interview, which was released both in theaters and online in December. Online sales topped $15 million on opening weekend, more than 5 times the amount raised in theaters.
We talk about it all the time that the youth and the connected generation just don't consume traditional media in the way that we did maybe 15 years ago. And every single day I see it more and more.
This conference, hosted by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, took place weeks before The Interview's release. But even then, panelists had predicted the increasing role of digital media. Since the film's debut, industry experts say more movies could be released in theaters and online simultaneously. The industry is also partnering with online companies like YouTube, Vimeo, and Fullscreen to stream movies and cultivate new talent. The industry also looks forward to an annual $360 million tax credit for film and TV productions in California. It's expected to bring tens of thousands of entertainment jobs back to our state.
And I want you to know that following the success of the tax credit, my focus on the entertainment industry is being redoubled as we now look at how we can cut red tape and cut costs for productions to make filming here even better.
A Hollywood story that isn't finished yet, but has industry experts already looking forward to a money-making sequel. In Hollywood, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Meanwhile, California's 5-year film and TV tax credit goes into effect in July. The LA City Attorney is now aiming his legal arsenal at an increasing number of immigration scams in the wake of historic immigration changes. Anna Marcos takes a look.
Scams against LA's immigration community are on the rise as President Barack Obama's executive actions on immigration take hold. Actions that will expand the ability of early childhood arrivals and immigrant parents of U.S. citizens to work and stay in the U.S. without fear of getting deported. But City Attorney Mike Feuer is cracking down on scammers.
But with these historic potential changes in the lives of so many comes the specter of those who would prey on the dreams of these immigrants.
The scams are multiplying even before immigration applications are available. They won't be out until spring.
Even if the person knows that there's an application available, they will tell them there's something we can actually do right now. They're lying. We've also heard rumors of people being told that if you pay them a certain amount of money, they'll save you a place in line.
The average complaint we see is $2,500. However, we see families, for instance, one case we had, a family paid $87,000 in cash for the help they didn't get.
Fewer's plan involves a multi-pronged approach that includes town hall and informational meetings, access to free legal help, and educational materials in several languages on how to avoid scams. Fewer has even teamed up with the LA County Department of Consumer Affairs to prosecute would-be scammers. Fines could be up to $1,000 with 1 year in jail for a misdemeanor. Other possible charges could include felony grand theft.
We are issuing a warning. There is a cross-jurisdictional collaboration in place. We are going to hold you accountable.
This is also a priority of my office, and we have investigators that are getting special training.
For more information on free legal services or for the schedule of town hall meetings on immigration, call 213-978-8340. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The first town hall meeting on immigration will be held Saturday, January 31st at 10 a.m. at St. Mary's College in South LA. After dozens of tire slashings in the Silver Lake area, residents are demanding action to be taken to catch the vandal. Rasha Goel reports.
We've had 20 incidents of this so far from October 1st to December 2nd, ranging as early as 2 p.m. in the afternoon to 5 a.m. in the morning.
And in response to these incidents of tire slashing, Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell and the LAPD recently took to the streets to show concerned residents 7 new street lights on the 3 streets where the vandalism occurred.
We know that installing lights is not the panacea. Installing lights is not going to solve the crime, but we also know that in neighborhoods that are better lit, crime's greatly reduced.
The councilman worked with the LA Department of Water and Power, which put up the lights in 6 weeks.
Normally when you put a request in for a utilitarian light through LADWP, it's more like 3 to 6 months. But they understood this was priority for us.
And while the lights may be up, the councilman still suggests residents should be vigilant.
It's really good to get to know your neighbors and to collaborate on public safety issues. You might want to think about forming a neighborhood watch.
Police are also asking more victims whose car tires were slashed to come forward. They believe the more information they have, the sooner they may be able to catch the suspect. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Police believe one person is responsible for the tire slashings, and they say only about half the affected residents have filed police reports. Some friendly competition is heating up between LAPD, LAFD, and the Sheriff's Department, and it's all for a good cause. Here's Yana Kay.
LAPD SWAT Sergeant Tim Colamy looks perfectly healthy today, but that wasn't the case almost 20 years ago when his life was hanging in the balance after being hit by a drunk driver, leaving him with severe injuries. And today he's grateful to the American Red Cross.
It saved my life that day, amongst other things, but without that blood, I wouldn't be here.
That's why Colamy now donates blood every 56 days, the minimum wait time between donations, to give back. He's also taking part in the city's 9th annual Battle of the Badges.
This is a great opportunity. I'm a lifelong blood donor. It truly is the gift of life, and I'm very happy to have the Los Angeles Fire Department participate in this great program.
The Battle of the Badges is a friendly month-long competition between LAPD, LA Fire, and the LA County Sheriff Department to see which department can give more blood.
The men and women of public safety come together to do this above and beyond their normal duties.
But you can help too. Anyone can walk into a Battle of the Badges blood drive and give blood. LAPD Chief Charlie Beck says donating not only saves lives, but connects everyone together.
And the gift of life to another is such a great thing. And I will remind you that you never know when you're going to be on the receiving end of some of these donations.
40,000 pints of blood have been collected since the Battle of the Badges competition began 9 years ago. And that means that 120,000 lives have been helped.
Today, we are celebrating our law enforcement and fire partners who are giving lives by saving lives.
This friendly competition also involves other law enforcement and fire departments throughout Southern California. The Red Cross hopes to collect 5,000 units of blood. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
If you like to donate blood, you can visit redcross.org. It's taken close to $500,000 in community block grants, but a new Worksource center is now open for business in Boyle Heights, and it promises to bring a brighter economic horizon for residents. Anna Marcos takes us there.
Lots of people out of work and looking for jobs in Boyle Heights. This job fair is just the first step in changing that.
I'm going into engineering and that field, so anything here that with engineering, that'll be a plus for me.
I'm just looking for a job opportunity here. Just any clerical work.
The job fair is part of the grand opening of a new Worksource center in Boyle Heights. Worksource centers aim to connect hopeful job applicants with jobs in growing industries by providing job listings, training, technical help, computer use, and skilled employment specialists.
This particular center is focused in the security industry as well as the solar and green energy industry. Those are the two growth industries and the great good-paying jobs.
And there are more good-paying jobs in store. Northgate Markets, which brings healthy grocery choices into underserved communities, just hired 200 people at its South LA store. And there is a Boyle Heights store as well. And the 6th Street Bridge Replacement Project, one of the largest projects in LA, is recruiting workers.
At the moment, we're looking for trade workers. It could be anywhere from laborers, welders, plumbers, electricians.
This latest Boyle Heights site is one of 17 Worksource centers in LA.
We have a stellar system to provide job delivery services. We are on the Pacific Rim competing with world markets. We're in a global economy. We have to bring that global economy down into our communities.
We all know when you get a job, that's a joyful moment on many levels. Here in this community, Boyle Heights, El Sereno, Highland Park, City 14, it's going to have a profound effect on people's lives.
For Boyle Heights residents, the job outlook just got a lot brighter. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Other agencies that helped secure grants for the project include the Economic and Workforce Development Department, General Services, and the Bureau of Engineering. Longtime California Senator Barbara Boxer posted a video on YouTube announcing she will not run for re-election in 2016. That got tongues wagging about whether our mayor may run. That's this week in tweets. In response to all the speculation, Mayor Eric Garcetti first tweeted, "The first thing we should do today is thank Senator Barbara Boxer for being a powerful champion for our city, state, and nation in the U.S. Senate." He then tweeted a pretty emphatic denial of any interest in wanting to fill Boxer's seat. The tweet says, "I love my job and I love my city and I am committed to the work here. I will not run for Senator Boxer's seat." Is that the final word or is it to be continued? We'll just have to watch and see. Around 200 people gathered on a chilly night in San Pedro recently to witness the rebirth of what used to be an eyesore. Gil Reyes takes us to the lighting of the all-new Gaffey Street pedestrian bridge.
3, 2, 1.
With the flip of a switch, a new lighted sign welcomes people to San Pedro.
I think it's fantastic. I appreciate the fact that the bridge is now light and bright,
and provides a nice entry into the city.
The sign brightens the Gaffey Street pedestrian bridge overlooking the 110 freeway. 1,200 feet of blue LED lights serve as trim, illuminating nighttime strolls with its mellow glow. The now azure archway is a vast improvement from the original dirty bridge, which often drew vandals. The upgrade also serves another purpose.
To kick off the Great Street program that the mayor has launched, naming Gaffey Street as one of the first great streets in the city of Los Angeles.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti's Great Streets initiative, launched in May, plans to beautify some of the city's main corridors. Gaffey Street is one of them. Making them more bike and pedestrian friendly is part of the plan.
They should be vibrant public spaces for art, for culture, for our families to enjoy. And along with Councilmember Buscaino, as he mentioned, we've started reaching out to the community because we want you to participate.
Perhaps a sign of more improvements to come. On the new Gaffey Street pedestrian bridge in San Pedro, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
As part of the mayor's Great Streets initiative, 40 streets throughout the city are slated for improvements. No one will likely disagree that the least we can do for those 90 years old or older is to throw them a big celebration. And that's exactly what the city did recently for its senior citizens as a way to pay respect and show gratitude. The Department of Recreation and Parks' annual 90-plus Legacy Luncheon is a tradition honoring the life and works of our city's eldest residents. The Friendship Auditorium was the site of the most recent luncheon, held prior to the new year, in which 336 seniors 90 years old and over attended. Virgie Aguilar was one of them.
The secret for me is not being negative. I love people and I like to talk to them whether I know them or not. Say hi, because I think that is great that we are here so long.
I recognize that it must be our mission to do all we can to nurture our senior community and make sure that you have the resources you need so that you can have the quality of life that you deserve, that you have earned, because you came before all of us.
An appropriate song for this year's theme, Life is a Journey. In the 22 years this luncheon has been held, 29 of the 90-plus honorees have exceeded the age of 100. This year, Miss Virginia Davis, age 107, was crowned queen for the third year.
For being a wonderful citizen, for encouraging all of us to maintain life as you have. Thank you, Virginia.
This is special. This is special. This is Recreation and Parks at its best.
The amount of experience, the lives that you've lived, and the vast knowledge that you must have has got to be incredible, and to have all that in one room is absolutely amazing.
Each year is better than ever. Each year is better than the last year.
And Virgie Aguilar knows where she's going to be next year, right back here on the dance floor, celebrating life and all that it has to offer. General Manager of Rec and Parks, Michael Scholl, says his goal for 2015 is to have the department begin collecting and documenting the stories of our city's senior citizens to pass down to future generations. Saving the environment and saving money, find out about a limited offer by the LADWP and the reopening of a dog-friendly pocket park. Also earn up to $100+ a day serving as a poll worker. These stories in CityBeat. Los Angeles Department of Water and Power customers who currently receive printed LADWP bills and who sign up for paperless billing through ladwp.com/paperless will receive a $10 credit on their next bill. The offer is only for a limited time through the end of June. Once enrolled, customers will receive bill notifications via email. This will reduce paper clutter and help decrease the environmental impact from printing paper bills. LADWP officials say the program is part of an ongoing effort to reduce the department's environmental footprint. Also, by not having to mail a bill, the department also saves money, which in turn saves customers money. The Department of Recreation and Parks celebrated the reopening of the Dorothy J. and Benjamin B. Smith Park on Franklin Avenue. Located in the Hollywood area, the Pocket Park now includes drought-tolerant plants and trees, decorative single-seat benches, decomposed granite paths, and fixed bag dispensers for dog waste. The park's new design consists of fitness equipment and a trimmed tree canopy to create an inviting pedestrian-friendly setting. Councilmembers Mitch O'Farrell and Tom LaBonge, as well as the Department of Water and Power, all helped to make this project possible. The city clerk's office needs approximately 4,000 poll workers to staff polls for the 2015 municipal elections on March 3rd and May 19th. Poll workers are paid $25 for attending a mandatory training class, as well as a stipend that can range from $80 to $150 for each election day they work. In order to serve as a poll worker, the applicant must be a U.S. citizen and registered voter who will be at least 18 years old on Election Day and is able to speak, read, and write in English. The Election Division is also seeking bilingual poll workers. You can call 1-866-899-VOTE or email clerk.electionpw@lacity.org. A song about Los Angeles has become a YouTube sensation, receiving some 10 million views in less than 2 years. It's also received special recognition from the city. Gil Reyes has more on the Los Angeles song.
Well, Los Angeles, Los Angeles.
It could be the most popular song about our city in all of YouTube. The Los Angeles song is written and performed by LA native Justin Chart. Chart was inspired to write it 2 years ago while hiking through Griffith Park.
My daughter and I around sunset time, and just looking at the complete view, the panoramic view you get there from, the city. And it was just it's a beautiful view. And I just kind of got a feeling.
A deep affection for the city's landscape, history, and creative spirit inspired 5 different versions, including 2 Spanish-language renditions, all from Chart. Together, they've garnered some 10 million YouTube views. That's about 8 million more views than Randy Newman's still very popular I Love LA.
We are actually at the studio of musician Justin Chart, where you can see some of the other accolades adorned on his wall. 2 city proclamations, one from Mayor Garcetti, the other from Councilman Tom LaBonge, and of course over here, the famous LA Times article.
Chart admits the article penned by Times columnist Steve Lopez helped popularize his song worldwide. He's now courting the city's Department of Cultural Affairs in hopes it can be played at ball games, marathons, and other events.
Sunset state of mind, that's what you'll find right here, oh yeah.
Chart is also working on yet another version of the Los Angeles song, one with some 30 voices representing all of LA's sister cities.
It's going to be huge. We're kind of going to take you through a voyage of all the people who now make Los Angeles their home, who are so grateful and happy to be living here, who've come from all over the world.
In Hollywood, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Mayor Garcetti and Councilman LaBonge issued their city proclamations praising the song last summer. There's now an extra place to sit and relax when you visit the Griffith Park merry-go-round. A new bench was recently dedicated to honor a big fan of the Carousel, Walt Disney's late daughter. A favorite LA pastime, a treasured childhood memory for many, an iconic piece of LA history. And back in 1940, Walt Disney would regularly bring his daughters Diane and Sharon to the Griffith Park merry-go-round, where he'd watch them from a bench and begin dreaming of building a theme park that later became a reality, Disneyland.
She spoke so highly of the experience that she and her sister had in coming here with her father and enjoying it.
Walt Disney would pay the operator the merry-go-round extra so that girls could ride and ride and ride, and he would be visioning what gave the world one of the greatest places on earth, which is everything to do with Disney. So you're standing on a very special spot.
Diane Disney Miller passed away in 2013. To honor her memory, the owners of the merry-go-round have dedicated a memorial bench bearing her name.
I asked her if I could have a picture of her on the bench, and she said, "Only if you sit with me." That's the kind of lady she was, and those of you who knew her really understand what a warm and marvelous lady she was.
That original bench where Walt Disney sat was also on display. And while the Griffith Park merry-go-round has long been linked to the Disney lore, for many folks, it's also been an important part of their own family history.
It just comes from my heart. It was a lot of fun. It's just memories from when I was a child.
A place of wonder that on any given day can rival Disneyland as the happiest place on earth. Built in 1926 by the Spillman Engineering Company, the merry-go-round was brought to Griffith Park in 1937. And in this week's list of things to do, we have more information on the iconic Griffith Park merry-go-round if you'd like to pay a visit. Also watching the Classic Film Network on the big screen, and an exhibit featuring the works of teen photographers. If our story on the Griffith Park merry-go-round has inspired you to take a spin, here's some additional information. The merry-go-round is open weekends throughout the year and weekdays as well as weekends only during the summer. The hours are 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Griffith Park is located at 4730 Crystal Springs Drive. The merry-go-round is located between the LA Zoo and the Los Feliz Park entrance. The carousel boasts 68 horses finely carved with jewel-encrusted bridles and is accompanied by a Stinson 165 military band organ. Whether it was a place you spent your childhood or a place you're now taking your kids, most will agree the merry-go-round at Griffith Park is indeed magical. Go to laparks.org. On Friday, January 16th, you have a chance to see the classic 1976 film Network on the big screen at the LA County Museum of Art, or LACMA. Directed by Sidney Lumet, the film about the future of network news, which produced the catchphrase "Mad as Hell," features Faye Dunaway, William Holden, Peter Finch, Robert Duvall, Ned Beatty, and on and on. Paddy Chayefsky won an Oscar for his Take No Prisoner screenplay. The film will be screened at LACMA's Bing Theater at 9:40 p.m. LACMA is located at 5905 Wilshire Boulevard. Tickets are $3 for Academy members and $5 for the general public. Go to lacma.org to purchase tickets or for additional information. On Saturday, January 17th, you can catch 224 Miles, a show featuring works by Venice Arts teen photographers Leo Martinez, Zinnia Moreno, Chelsea Ramirez, and Mark Tomalin, created during their educational trip to the Grand Canyon. In July, with digital film and video cameras in tow, the 4 advanced study students went on the journey of a lifetime, using their surroundings as artistic inspiration. You can see their works at the exhibit at the G2 Gallery at 1503 Abbot Kinney Boulevard in Venice from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Proceeds will support Venice Arts Youth Opportunities Fund. Go to theg2gallery.com, and that's a look at some upcoming things to do. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. A reminder that you could catch us online at lacitybeview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week. In LA This Week,
Los Angeles city officials announce record-breaking tourism in Los Angeles. I'm Yana Kay, and I'll tell you why LAX is leading the way. Next.
I'm Anna Margos. A new plan by the city attorney to help victims of immigration scams. Find out more coming up.
An LA-based singer-songwriter writes a song about Los Angeles, and it receives over 10 million hits on YouTube. I'm Gil Reyes. I'll introduce you to musician Justin Chart next.